Very old Massai Warriors. This is Miriam. Miriam has been with us for a long time. She's also reared a family of 3 young children, and of course it's very hard for a mother to leave her children. All the troop are married, but it's particularly hard for a girl to leave her children. And she's found it very hard. But you have to realise that Miriam has to do this to give her family a chance and a future. On top of that, she's a brilliant singer. She knows Primark like the back of her hand. She keeps the men in check. She's an extremely good cook. Thank you, Miriam.
Hey.
This is Simon and Joseph. Simon taught himself English by reading old English newspapers and the books because he left school at 13 to look after his father's cattle. He then spent time talking to English tourists, and so it was in 2012 or thereabouts. For the very first time, he flew with the troop to Scotland as their narrator. On the first day, he was speaking to school children in Falkirk. Now, I can't understand this. How on earth he got by, I don't know. I continually say that I will stop him saying shepherds. But even tonight he said shepherds, it's shepherds, but who cares? Who cares? He has young children too. We're really lucky to have Simon because it's so important to have a Massai person to convey the show to people because it's far more authentic. And so we hope he'll stay with us for many years to come. Thank you. Now, Joseph and Samuel came for the first time 3 years ago together. Being a great age, I keep confusing which is which. And so every time he walks up, very quietly he goes, Joseph. So that's kept me right for some considerable time. Brilliant jumper, brilliant singer, and just great fun. In particular, he tells wonderful jokes. And he told me one in Peterborough on Sunday, which I thought was first class. If you've heard it, don't spoil it for others. It's quite short. Away you go, Joseph.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I dread to think what he's saying, actually, but still. When we do this in school, we always say to the children, if you didn't quite understand that, just ask teacher when you go there. Now, this is Sayanka. Now, Sayanka has some marvellous attributes. He started off very early on when we were going, and then he stopped coming for a long time, but came back about 5 years ago, and he's been with us ever since. He has the ability to cheer up a child who's very nervy about what's going on in a flash. He's wonderful with children. He's a wonderful singer of Maasai music. Now, as you probably heard, Maasai history is not written down, it's all in their music. And so he is a bit like a Maasai history book. He also sings at great speed. And I just want him to start at the beginning when you probably weren't looking at his lips and just see how fast he goes.
Brilliant.
Now this is Samuel. Samuel, like Joseph, does not like flying. The first trip they both took, they got on the aircraft and the troop kept them on the aircraft with some difficulty. Samuel is a fantastic jumper, as you've probably seen tonight. He's a great singer, and he also does wonderful animal impersonations. Now, we don't normally do that in the adult performances, but there are so many children here that I think will do them. Now, first of all, there's the hyena. A hyena makes one sound when it's hungry and another sound when it's full up. Never sure which one of these it is, but he's going to do it now.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yay! Well done. Very good turn.
I have to say that's a hyena we have not yet met before. And then there's a wild monkey, of which there are many in Kenya, and they're an awful nuisance and can be quite dangerous. Now, here, he usually scares the living daylights out of years 3 and 4 at the school, but let it go. Here you are, Samuel. Fear is that one night we'll be doing a performance and Simon Cowell will be in the audience and he'll be gone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the final person is Richard, and Richard is the leader of the troupe and has been since the start. Now, to organise a tour, let alone host one, is tremendously difficult. It takes so much of your time and can be very frustrating and very upsetting at times. And I totally rely on Richard's job in Kenya, which is to audition for new members of the troupe as we try and move the troupe around so all families can earn money, and then to rehearse them, sort out any problems with the visa, and then to get them on the aircraft, and in Joseph and Samuel's case, keep them on. And when he's here, he leads from the front. There is no doubt that I could not possibly do this without Richard. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, he's my very best friend. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to extend thanks to Kathy Palmer, who has done a magnificent job in getting you all here. And Kathy, I'm very grateful. To Sue, Nut, for showing the video for me, which was difficult. Thank you too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my privilege to stand in front of this troupe for many years. I still love each and every one of them. And what we have achieved together with the charity is phenomenal. And it gives me great cheer at many times. I think that they show so many gifts that we haven't got. They never pray for things they want. They just pray for things they need. perhaps unfortunate that in our language want has become the big word. And I try and talk to children and say, you know, don't want. If you need, that's different. But if your mother says we can't afford a new mobile phone, forget it, we like the Massai. I hope that you feel it has been a privilege to be here tonight. I think the important thing to remember is that the Massai people may be very poor, but in the way they live and the way they are, they have the riches of the world. Thank you.